hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to make a sort of a summary video to the series of overseas contracting. Now on the channel there's probably about 25 to 30 videos that are based on overseas contracting and the work that I've done and the places that I've gone, the things that I've been doing. I've been contracting now for about 2 decades. I contracted for a long time in the state of Hawaii, and I've done a few videos about working in the state of Hawaii, both contracting and the work environment itself and just the cost of living. And I also have done a lot of contracting overseas in foreign countries. And now I'm getting to a point where I'm getting ready to retire and I won't be working these overseas contracts anymore. I'm going to be traveling full time, and I'm going to be doing videos here on YouTube of those travels. So I wanted to summarize a little bit about what my thoughts are of the years that I've done contracting and what it's done for me. First and foremost, for those of you who are thinking about getting into contracting, I don't think there's any better time. I know that you hear about overseas contracting positions and countries that are becoming locked down and hard to get to. The reality is, as a contractor, you don't have those issues. The company that you work with either works with the government or works with the government of the country that you're going to, and they give you special visas and you can get into those countries to work. So it is an opportunity to work at a time where very few people are able to travel. So that's one of the real pros, is that during this entire lockdown situation, I have been traveling. In fact, I visited about 4 different countries in the amount of time that most people have been locked down in their house. And I've had a chance to see those countries and visit places and do things and just deal with the different situations that come up. Not stressed out about them, meet interesting people. I've traveled to large cities, I've traveled to small cities in foreign countries, and I've chronicled a lot of it here on my channel. If you're a travel nut like me, overseas contracting is absolutely the way to go. Another thing that it's done for me, it's just given me an ability to retire early. And how is that possible? Well, when I was working in the United States for years, I found myself paying a very high cost of living, trying to pay for automobiles, trying to pay for health care, trying to pay for high cost of food, paying outrageous rent, and eventually paying out outrageous mortgage. And at the end of all of it, I would find myself with hardly anything to invest at the end of the month. In fact, an entire year would go by and I'd be lucky if I had $5,000 or $6,000 that I was able to invest in various stocks at the end of a year. That is not the case working overseas. Working for a company overseas, my health care was paid for, my lodging was paid for, a vehicle, if I needed it, was given to me, and even educational benefits were taken care of. And so I was able to focus on the things that I wanted to invest on and just spend my money on that. There was some years working overseas that at the end of the year, I was able to put 5 figures away into my stock market account. And that was after taking care of all sorts of other things that I needed to, becoming 100% debt-free, being able to take care of things for my kids, for their educational needs, getting them laptops and things along those lines that they needed. And then still being able to put 5 figures away into my investments. Nothing else has given me that opportunity. Not only was the pay better overseas, but also the tax benefits. The ability to shelter 6 figures from federal tax, being able to really restructure my whole life tax-wise, and it put me in a very different situation. In fact, only in a couple of years of working overseas did I find myself in a completely new financial situation. No debt, money invested, and looking into other things such as buying pieces of land and things like that. Maybe even investing overseas into various programs for citizenship by investment, or maybe even just buying a piece of real estate somewhere overseas to travel to, or to pass down to my kids, or maybe move into a second citizenship, whatever the case might be. It really changed everything for me. And I think a lot of people could benefit by not only the adventure of getting away from their home country and traveling and working overseas, but by the financial benefit as well. The third thing has been the social and emotional benefit. I've had a chance to meet people from all over the world. I've had a chance to become friends with people from all over the world, either through their home country, because I was working in their home country, or because they were from another country, like a European country or a North American country, and they were working a contract with me. So I was just making friends with people all over the world. And now sitting here talking about this, and I'm thinking about it, you know, there's really very few countries in Europe and in North America, in the Middle East that I could possibly think of where I don't know somebody that I keep up with on social media. And that's really something that I think was a benefit to me in the long run, on a social and emotional level. The ability to get outside of my home country and see the world and meet people from outside of my country. I think it gave me a newfound respect for the world, and I think it gave me a newfound appreciation for what I have and an understanding of what I don't have back in my home country. Every country has problems, every country has issues, and my home country is no different, and the countries that I go to work in are no different. But to see that and to understand that, I think gives you a newfound appreciation for your home country, and you start chilling out on things. You start realizing, you know what, this kind of stuff is actually everywhere. It's not just here, and I need to find some appreciation for what I do have. I wanted to kind of go over that. The whole purpose of these videos is that, I've written several books in the past about work that I've done in the military, about prepping, about things along those lines, some history books, and you can find those books in the description. I'll leave links to those books on Amazon. But my thought was to write another book about overseas contracting, and I decided no, I'm going to do a different media this time. I'm going to go onto YouTube and I'm going to start a series about overseas contracting instead of writing a book. And that's what I've done. The end result now is that these 25 to 30 videos are finished, and I'm going to be moving into the next chapter of this YouTube channel, and looking forward to it. And I just thank you to all of you who have been watching these videos, and also as they stay on YouTube over the years, thousands of people will get a chance to go back to them and look them over, and hopefully they'll be beneficial. It's all the straight information about overseas contracting, word of mouth, directly from someone who has been doing it for many years. So you won't get any bum information or any hearsay or secondhand information. Okay, so I hope they've been very helpful. And just stay tuned on the channel, like and subscribe, and we will be going all sorts of places after this, and looking forward to that. All right, so I wish everyone a good day.
Love me, Matthew?
I do.
Honestly?
Yes. Secretly, but honestly.
No more secrets.